Big Book came over the video. Shaq tells his daughters to get a man they can control.
Yeah, I saw that interview. I shut off as soon as he said that. I was like, okay, see, this is that bullshit.
See, so we talk about all the time, right? Like about how mothers mess up their daughters, right? For prospects. I don't think we talk about how fathers fuck up their daughters as well. I'm talking about fathers that are present, not the ones that are gone. That's a whole nother fucking situation. But like, we do not talk enough about the things that I've heard men tell their daughters that are absolutely destructive when it comes to creating a like long-lasting actual relationship, bro. Like, the fact that Shaq would even tell his daughters, find a man you can control. Are you serious?
I think it was dead ass. and you know what I think that is? And you know what I think that is? I think it's a sense, and just like when women give their boys advice, you know what it is? It's overcorrection. It's an overcorrection. That's exactly what it is. Because they know what they did and how they fucked up in dating, right? And so to rectify those mistakes, you tell the next generation, hey, do the opposite of what I did. Or be the opposite.
The direct opposite.
I mean, and
not even a little
direct,
bit.
just like the other extreme, like the
other extreme.
Like no middle ground, no, you know what I'm saying, compromising. Like, okay, be this way, but taper, attitudes, expectations, etc., etc. Like, no, do exactly the opposite.
Yo.
Like this is how we get fucked. This is how we screw up in dating. You keep telling your kids you keep trying to live vicariously through your kids.
Bro, the direct opposite extreme, like.
That's so
and you know what's crazy? Like, I genuinely think he has their interest in mind. I don't think he would purposely, and again, I don't think women purposely give their children terrible advice. I think they're trying to help, but I think it's so funny that like you would go through to such lengths to say something like that. Like, that just goes to show, in my opinion, like, Shaq, no diss, great dude, does a great work, awesome man. But I don't think he truly understands female nature. Because to tell a woman that goes directly against her nature. Women do not want a man that they can control. Like, that is a turnoff. But that's almost a doormat.
But see, that's the thing. He's not thinking about female nature. He's thinking about his nature and what he did to women. So
no.
To prevent his daughters, which is really funny, but we'll get to that in a second. But to prevent his daughters from falling for a dude like he was, get the opposite of me. Don't find a dude that's like me, like Freud would typically say that a person would do. Don't find a dude like me. No. You find a dude that's opposite of me.
But that's what I'm saying though. To find a dude that's opposite, direct, extreme opposite of him, right, is to find an incel, basically.
That's
like, you see what I'm saying? That is directly a contradiction with female nature. The reason why Shaq is who he is and able to attract women is because of how he acts. So basically what he's saying is find a dude that's not like me at all. Essentially a dude who is unattractive to women. And even giving that advice, ain't no woman doing that. Like, that's not a thing, man. That's truly not a thing. Like, it just cracks me up, man. Like, because women will tell their sons, basically make their sons incels, right? By telling them all the shit that they find attractive. You should be like this. But But if you're an older woman, right? We talked about this shit on the pod. If you're an older woman, the shit that you find attractive at 30 or 35 or 40 isn't the same shit that a woman your son's age is gonna find attractive. So
and not only that, think also like you're talking about different ages too. Like not ages as in 25, 35 like that. No, I'm talking about different generations. So what was good for you back then, you know what I'm saying, the norm ain't the norm now. You understand?
No, I get that.
You know what I'm saying? Like because back in the day when you were young, chivalry was a thing. Now you telling your kids to hold those things. Today's day, chivalry ain't a thing. Chivalry's dead. You can't have your sons go out there trying to be this shit. I remember, man, look here. Dude, I remember when I tried that. You know what I'm saying? Like when mom told me all this stuff that I was supposed to do, for girls. And it was this girl that I really liked in grade school. And I was invited to her birthday party. No joke. This is exactly how this went down. I'll never forget this because I never felt more of a fool than I did this day. So I get invited to the birthday party and I go, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, you don't want to be rude or whatever have you. And I go, and you know what I'm saying? There's music, dancing, this, that, and the third, whatever, right? So I go over and I ask this girl to dance, and I kiss her hand, my guy. I kissed her hand, asking for a dance, and she laughed. She laughed. I walked away. Bro, I'll never forget that, bro. Like that's what I'm saying. Like you may have the best interest in heart, but you gotta understand what the times are, because it don't always work out that way.
Oh, bro, you went the full on
crush. I wanted to leave right then and there.
That was some like Romeo and Juliet, some Capulet and Montague.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
Bro, like you straight up. Oh shit! How old were you when this happened?
This was when was this? This was like 6th, 7th grade.
Oh yes,
bro.
Yeah,
bro. It was bad. It was pretty bad.
Damn, that's rough, bro.
Tell me about it.
Because here's what makes that so rough. Because
I got laughed at. Yes, I agree.
No. But that just goes to show exactly what motherfuckers be talking about, bro. Son, husbands, bro. Because an older woman would say, "Oh, that's cute." The problem is that the little girl who you trying to attract is like, "Ew, what the fuck are you doing?" It just shows like the mindset. Like you cannot pump a fucking 30, 40-year-old mindset into a child, man. Like that's oh man,
old school mannerisms, old school ways of speaking,
shit.
all this stuff. Like I was an old man at a young age.
Listen, and you know what's funny is if you would have recorded that and shown that to any woman, any older woman, she would have said, "Aw," like
probably. I mean, her mom liked me. Her mom
liked me.
She thought I was adorable. She thought I was fucking adorable.
I love it.
I thought that was a good thing. I thought that if you got in good with the parents, you were good with the girl. No. That ain't no.
And I want to be clear. I want to be clear. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at the situation, bro.
Look, you might
You
might as well laugh at me because she did. I am. Go ahead, laugh it up.
No, man, it's not you. It's just funny, the situation, because like dead ass, bro. I could go to any one of my female friends and tell them that story, and they would say, "Aw," like. But if put in that situation, then they would have done the same shit that little girl did.
It's like, oh, what are you doing? What? Let go of my hand. And dude, the look of disgust, my guy. Like I can't even describe to you the look of disgust. Like it was a mixture of ew and what the fuck. Like it's it's really hard. Like if those two phrases did the fusion dance, like that was the look on her face. Like that's what that looked like.
Yo, damn, not the fusion dance.
Like fusion, and then you know what? That Beyonce look. That's what it was. You know that terrible picture of Beyonce
from that concert,
you know, when she performed at the Super Bowl that one year. Yeah. Like that's what that fusion dance would look like. So it's fusion, and then that face. Like that's the
Oh shit, bro, that ass. I can't. You didn't slay me, son. I'm dying.
It's bad, man. It's bad.
No, but if that don't just show like the mentality, bro, like that's why you can't do that to young men, man. You really can't, man. Like you can't pump a mature mindset into a dude like that, man. Because even young boys are very literal, man. Like you know what I mean? Like it's.
But see, that goes into the nature of dudes. It's like we follow directives.
That's what I'm saying. We're very literal. Like, yo, that is the best. That is a great story. Holy shit, that is so good. Because I mean, it's not like we all haven't been there. Like we've all done something that's just like embarrassing as shit. And like, yo, fuck me. You slay. I couldn't even fucking think after that, bro. I want to laugh so bad. Like, I'm holding back. It's like, I don't want to ruin the quality of the audio and shit. But,
bro.
When you said it, I was like, oh, shit. We didn't all had that moment before, bro. Like, I remember writing fucking poems.
Don't bring up poems, bro.
Oh, bro. I remember in grade school. Because remember, like, not saying that my dad wasn't in my life, but again, I only saw him on the weekends, like, once a month, maybe. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, like, he wasn't, like, it wasn't a presence. You know what I'm saying? So, most of my relationship advice, when I started getting it in, like, 3rd and 4th grade, was from my mom, bro. And I remember writing so many fucking poems and, like, I was using, like, love songs and shit, like, you know, for inspiration. I remember, back when making mixtapes was a thing, bro. I made girls mixtapes.
I love mixtapes, playlists, and all of that.
Bruh,
like,
all that
CDs,
shit. And
burning CDs. Like,
if
you can burn CDs, you are a god.
But this is the thing, but I find fucking hilarious is because like a lot of single mothers train their boys to be these hopeless romantics very early on, and they do all this shit and they get soundly rejected, right? Soundly beat in the face, laughed at, made fun of, right? And
there's nothing sound about that shit. That was irrational as fuck. I was trying my best.
Soundly. No. I mean soundly as in like it's gonna happen. Like it's inevitable. You know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna happen. They're gonna get laughed at, made fun of. You know what I'm saying? Because like that's not how little girls process those emotions or feelings for people. Kids are assholes. At the end of the day, we know children are assholes. And the thing about it is, and here's the kicker. If you had been the boy that she had the crush on at that age and done that, it might have turned out different.
You know, Doppler Dahmer.
Okay.
Doppler Dahmer. It's another theory from How I Met Your Mother, and I thought this shit was so fucking profound.
Explain that.
Okay, so the Doppler Dahmer theory, right? Ted came up with this one. If you do something to a girl who finds you also attractive, like say writing a poem, something as simple as writing a poem. If she's already into you, that's the Doppler effect. She's into it. She's into you. So it seems, what's the word I'm looking for? It's endearing, right?
It's endearing. It's cute.
It's endearing.
Yeah.
However, if she's not into you and she don't find you attractive, then that's the Dahmer effect. You're creepy. You're weird. It's the Doppler Dahmer effect.
Yo, the dollar name makes complete sense.
That's what it is.
This is why Okay, first of all, I would just like to say, only a man could have written that into that show. There's no fucking way. No, dead ass. Because here's the thing, men have talked about that phenomena since I've been walking this earth. You understand me? At least since I've been walking, I've heard that situation or scenario, right? But I have never heard somebody say Doppler.
You must have missed that episode, dude. I love that. I love that theory.
Here's the thing. The way you just explained it is fucking attraction in a nutshell, bro. Like, if it's a Doppler, because you understand Doppler radar, it reflects. So if she likes you and you reflect back that you like her, it's all good. It gives you the ping. Boom, right? But if it's not reciprocated, it's immediately, you hear me? Immediately seen as gross, disgusting, nasty. I don't want, like, immediately.
And a lot of dudes out there are looked at as domers.
And only men, because of the way our society is set up and how we have to approach, would understand that. It reminds me of that video of that lesbian woman that disguised herself as a man with prosthetics and stuff, and went out to hit on women, and she came back and said, "Wow, women are assholes." The amount of women that are just rude, ignorant, like it. She said she's never seen that side of a woman, and she's a lesbian. That's the funny part. She's a lesbian. She said, when I walk up to women, because I'm a woman, I get treated way differently. Now that I put on these fucking prosthetics and I look like a man, holy crap. She's like, women are mean, just downright mean.
There's a video, and I'll have to share it with you if I can find it. But I saw this video of a transgender man talking about what it's like to be in the dating world, and he was like, "Yo, that whole guilty until proven innocent thing, that's true." Like he was like, I was surprised that this was the response that I was getting dating as a man. Like this is it's weird. And that's where I think a lot of women they don't see outside themselves when it comes to men, right? So recently on a podcast I watched, I heard somebody say that women can express sympathy towards a man, but not empathy. They can't. And it's weird because when they talk about each other, they can be empathetic. In other words, a woman talking to another woman can be very much so empathetic. A lot of women can't be empathetic towards men. In other words, they can't put themselves in the man's shoes. And that hit me. Well, it's
because a lot of women I talk to, when you explain these things, again, sympathy. They can be like, "Oh man, that sounds crappy," but they can never imagine feeling that way. Like actually be empathetic to a man.
Because I mean, how often do women get rejected? Like, really think about that. Like, hell, if you scour TikToks, there are TikToks video of women just going absolute berserk because they got rejected.
Oh yeah,
because I've had that happen. That they're rightly used to.
I've had that happen 3 times in my life. Twice in my adult life. No, I take it back 4 times. Twice in my youth and 2 times in my adult life. And the one that sticks out in my youth was in high school. A girl who I actually thought was cute, but I was trying to pursue another girl. She actually asked me. She said, and I think I told you this story. We were in art class, and I think Jorge, if he ever listened to this podcast, can vouch. We were airbrushing at the time. You said what?
I didn't know he had one.
Who, Jorge?
Yeah, I had no idea.
No, I'm just saying. Like, so we were in art class, whatever, shooting the shit. You know, we were airbrushing at the time. You know, and one of the girl walked up to me, and now mind you, it was her and her 2 friends in the class. And she walks up to me and she says, "Hey, you know, do you want to go out sometime?" And at the time, you know, I was chasing my other crush. You know who I'm talking about. I ain't gonna say no names. But I was like super into this other girl, and I didn't want to ruin my chances. So like all this shit passed through my head, and I said, no, thank you. I'm not really interested right now. I was as polite as I can be without being an asshole, right? Because I could have been an asshole, but I wasn't. And she proceeded, but she proceeded to berate me. And when I say berate me, with all types of motherfucker, you ain't shit, blah, blah, blah. Now, mind you, we 16.
Wow.
Called me every name in the book. Oh, you short, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. I was like...
But you asked me out.
But
so
you
how
asked
am
me
I all
out.
of these
So
things
how am
all of
I...
a sudden?
Bro. I was like, what? Now, mind you, that was the second time I experienced this. Because the first time I experienced it was back in junior high. But that was the second time in my life I experienced it. And at first, you know, you start to think, you're like, but that can't be... Like, you don't want to... Like, blanket motherfuckers. Like, it just might have been two flukes. But again,
of
I don't.
Course.
But see this. But see, this is the thing, though. This is the thing, and this is where it started really bothering me. And I was thinking about it at the time. How often are you approached by women? See, so I'm 2 for 2. I don't get approached like that. I do the approaching, right? So 2 times in my life, early on, that I got approached by a woman and I rejected her. I got berated. We're 2 for 2. At 16, I'm 2 for 2. And I was, at the time, I was like, is it a coincidence? I'm 2 for 2? It could be. I was like, but that's weird, though. When I was in the military, and a chick came at me, and I told her no. We were out. I won't go into the story, but I was out with my boys. We was at a club. Told her no. Same shit happened. 3 for 3. Bro. Women don't approach men often, right? And I've talked to multiple dudes about this, and they said the same thing. Every time they're approached, if they reject the woman approaching, they proceed to berate them, assault them verbally. Bro, and they can do it the nicest way possible. And it's so weird because you hear about men doing unwanted shit, right? When they approach a woman and a woman rejects them. But you don't hear about the fact that when women approach, bruh, it's a whole another level.
But see, that goes into the whole thing about losing graciously, right? And being competitive and learning how you have. When we okay, so I never really played sports growing up, right? Mm-hmm. But you know what I'm saying, there were other ways that I was able to compete in certain aspects, right? And you know what I'm saying, so learning how to compete and either winning or losing, and if you lose graciously. You just got to get better, right? Yes. That's something that you learn growing up as a boy, right? Remember that one episode on Facts Over Feelings that we did when we were talking about, you know, most of those traits that, you know, men have are now deemed as toxic, right? Women have never had to do the whole competing thing. So learning to lose and lose graciously is not a skill that they rightly develop. So what you get in return of rejection, because that's what a rejection is, it's just losing. You know what I'm saying? Let's just be real about that. You're just losing at an opportunity to when you shot your shot. It got blocked. It got rejected. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So you don't know, and it's a humiliating feeling because it takes a lot to build up the courage to do shit like that, right? So you're feeling up. He's like, okay, I'm gonna do this. You go do it, and it's not reciprocated. You become a Dahmer, and then you're like, the fuck you mean I'm a Dahmer? Fuck you and yo. You know what I'm saying? Like they never learn how to do that, because and I think that's why they don't approach, because they haven't had to compete on that level. And even though it's a minuscule level, they haven't had to compete on that level to put themselves in a position to be rejected.
That's what you're saying.
You know?
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I mean, it's just funny though that like even when you bring this up to like women, they just are like, what? And it's just like, at least dudes can like, if a woman told, like, I've heard plenty of stories about creepy ass dudes, and I'm just like, the fuck? Oh, no, that dude's fucking crazy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but I believe it. Whereas, like, women will be like, no, she didn't do it. What? No.
Girls don't do that. Girls ain't like that. Like, the hell they are.
And it's like, yes, the
they
fuck
are.
You mean, bro?
That's like, I was this conversation I had. I think it was either 8 at the Table, Daily Rifle Crew. It was one of them. I can't never get these groups straight, right? But there was a conversation that was happening. I'm pretty sure it was later in the table. There was a conversation that was happening where they were talking about something about whether or not whose opinion was more valid, or maybe it was on Lapeef at the time. Maybe it was there, but there was a disagreement about what women think about men, what women think about how men are and how they act versus a man telling women how men are. And one of the comments came out, and one of the dudes was like, I think my insight on what a man is and how he acts and his and what he thinks is more valid than your opinion because I'm a man. And boy, when he said that, all up in arms, my guy, all up in arms. Like, the fuck you mean? You know better. Like, yes, because I'm a dude who has to chase women. You're a woman who don't know how we think. So I'm trying to tell you how this works. You only have an opinion. You don't know. Right. And I'm trying to tell you that I know.
Nah.
Which is why I think Shaq gave the advice that he did, swinging it all the way back around, gave the advice that he did because he knows.
Yeah. I think... I find it... So that's another thing too, is I find it funny that like you said, and I can believe that happened to Lapeef. I can so believe that happened because that's one thing I noticed, and not to pick on anybody, but I noticed about specifically black women, where it's like a man's opinion is not respected, right? Or viewpoint is not respected as much, especially if it goes directly against. Now, there are times, right, like where it might be if you have a actual relationship with a person, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Then it might be respected, but that's one thing I think that differentiates us between men and women. Whereas dudes will listen to the opinion or listen to what was said. If what was said is stupid and has no merit or doesn't make sense, we judge that opinion, not the person. Right? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, it's less of an ad hominem. It's more like a direct, like, critique of what the hell you said. Right? So, for example, if I was saying something about the way a woman thinks, right? If I was to say something about the way a woman thinks, and a woman said, hey, that's not how I think. Okay. I would have to take that as face value, right? Because I'm not her.
Right.
I mean, that's facts. I can speculate. I can claim that maybe she's not being 100% honest or truthful, but I have to still deal with the fact that I'm not her, right?
And you have to take her at her word, yeah.
And I have to take her at her word. Whereas a woman will turn around and say, no, that's how you think.
Because all men are like that. Like, yeah. I see what you're saying.
Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, it's so funny that happens way too damn often, where men's, I guess, opinions are discounted. But I mean, it is what it is. I'm just glad it's starting to people are starting to have these conversations and starting to turn around, because that ain't the way to be. That ain't the way to be.